Everybody is thinking about travel, right? Leading up to the holiday weekend. This is start of summer, so that's clearly on people's minds. But if you start thinking about travel, there's no way you're not thinking about, if you're traveling by air, about all of the issues that Boeing has been dealing with, and these videos you see that are just terrifying. We had the turbulence episode this week,
where somebody died in the turbulence. It's actually 15% more intense turbulence in the atmosphere than there was, I think it was 20 years ago.
Which seems like we have climate change now clashing with
air safety. With air safety.
A lot to talk about, and we are thankful that we have the Transportation Secretary with us, Pete Buttigieg.
Who, by the way, we knew way back when.
We knew him back when on the campaign trail, and he is joining us now to talk about a lot of these issues heading into the holiday weekend. Mr. Secretary, welcome back to TMZ Live.
Thanks. Good seeing you guys.
It's great seeing you. So I got to tell you, I just came back from vacation, and I very intentionally tried avoiding Boeing because I have just been, because of my job, I see all these stories.
In particular, the one that there was a report yesterday about a risk that the FAA is aware of with Boeing 777s and electrostatic and the fuel cell. There was a frightening report to read, and I know that the FAA had a certain take on it.
But you're not FAA, obviously, and they are responsible for airline safety. But with all that's going on that we've seen with Boeing, in particular with Boeing, is there cause for concern? Because it actually affected me when I made my travel plans.
Yeah, so part of why we've been putting Boeing under a microscope is because of those concerns. What happened in January, some of the other things that have come to light, and FAA is taking a very unusual step of preventing them from expanding their production until they can show that they can do it safely. At the same time, it's important to remember all of that, the reason it's so strict is because we're working to maintain an incredibly high standard of safety. A lot of times at the FAA, whether they let a decision go through or not is based on a 1 billion to 1 standard. In other words, a 1 in a billion chance of something going wrong. And right now, we're at a moment where U.S. aviation safety has had this extraordinary recent track record. It is by far the safest way to travel. So the challenge, of course, is how to make sure it stays that way. That's the design of the airplanes, the manufacturing of the airplanes, the use of the airplanes, and it's all the way down to things that are up to passengers, like listening to your flight crew, following their instructions, remembering that the flight attendants are there for your safety. But look, bottom line, I get on an airplane every few days. Often it's Boeing, sometimes it's another manufacturer, but I can tell you, anything that is flying right now is flying because it's been through those incredibly strict guardrails that the FAA sets up. And anytime they see a problem, anytime we see a problem, we will tap the brakes, even if it's an extraordinary move like grounding aircraft, which we will do if we're not certain that they're completely safe.
And can I just say, though, when you see these 737 MAXs, when 2 of them crash, and they're allowed to fly even after the first crash, and then it turns out there is some kind of a design defect, and then you see doors blowing off planes, wheels falling off landing gear. As a consumer, that affects me, and I hear about the statistics, and I get it, but it still makes me uneasy.
Sure. I mean, nobody wants to see this kind of news or these kinds of stories, and that's part of why we've been so aggressive with Boeing, making it clear, as the FAA administrator put it, this is not going to be business back to business as usual. So we're going to be very, very tight, really putting Boeing under a microscope. But we've also got to make sure that we extend that same safety attitude to other forms of transportation like driving. Here's one way to think about it. Over the course of the last year, any given day, the number of people who died in car crashes is as many people as you can fit into a 737. That's totally unacceptable. In the same way that we move heaven and earth when there is even the possibility that something could have gone wrong on an airplane, we got to be more serious about road safety. It's why we're funding safety improvements on streetscapes in hundreds of communities around the country. And just going into Memorial Day weekend, that's why I want to make sure, including in a moment like this, I'm just reminding everybody, take your time, have a plan, be safe. If you're celebrating, make sure you have a plan with a designated driver, you're taking transit or something so you're not behind the wheel, because we could be doing so much more as a country and literally save as many lives as we're losing to gun violence when it comes to the number of lives we're losing on our roadways too.
We got to show him this. This is hysterical.
Yes.
So we have a camera guy. You probably met him when you were on the campaign trail. His name is Charlie, and he's at LAX. And he pitched a story to us a couple weeks ago. And I thought he had some celebrity that he got at the airport.
Well, she's famous now.
She's famous now, but your name was invoked here, and it's so funny. We want you to see it.
Get me the up on the next flight, or call Pete Buttigieg right now. Call that Pete Buttigieg right now. That useless seriously. Are you on Delta? We're not Delta. You're TSA? Yeah.
No, we're WestJet.
This is WestJet, not Delta.
I think you need to go over there.
Oh, you're at the wrong terminal? You're at the wrong terminal?
Your name got invoked.
I mean, I guess the positive spin is she knew that you're the transportation secretary, right? So, and she went right to the top.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I guess that's a sign that that the message is breaking through. That we're here to help airline passengers get a fair shake. I would recommend, speaking to the correct airline, and obviously not being under any influences when you do it, to try to have a conversation, respectful conversation with an airline employee. But yeah, at least she knows we're here to help airline passengers.
If you want to give her a number right now,
Yeah,
is there
you
a
want to
number?
give your cell phone number?
Right. I think I'll let her just go ahead and maybe take that up via chat or email.
Via chat, yeah.
She can go to flightrights.gov. If she feels the airline did not comply with their customer service plan, she can send us an email. But maybe better to keep my cell phone to myself.
Smart. Very smart, Pete. Listen, thank you so much. It's always great catching up with you, and have a great holiday weekend. And are you going to be traveling this weekend?
I am. Yeah, we're hitting the road. So I'll be taking the family minivan on through its paces. I think I'm responsible for getting the dog to Michigan. So we'll see if we make it.
Wait a minute. How old are the kids?
2.5 now. So we're coming up on. They'll be 3 this summer, and it is crazy. They're hilarious. They just learned a new letter today, so I'm pretty excited about that academic achievement. But really, the academic achievement I'm after is getting through potty training, and we're still pushing on that one.
What letter are we brought to you by today?
We got C. We got the letter C for candy cane, which they always remind me that has something to do with candy cane. I'm not sure they know what a candy cane is, but they know about C for candy cane.
Well, listen, we will be thinking about you as you're driving a minivan with 2 2.5-year-olds and a dog. Congrats and good luck.
Good luck. And good luck.
Thanks.